lead a squad that hasn't made the big dance since 2010. For more information, check out ESPNWisconsin.com.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's gonna swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
Yeah, okay, a military wife,
You.
a deep sea fisherman,
Jim.
and a lead conductor for an orchestra. That was actually pretty good.
That is pretty
Pretty
good.
good.
In honor of Molly Brown, and your nickname was?
Maladina, muffin pie, savage. Why are we not making foo-foo say foo-foo constantly? Daddy, don't call me Jimmy anymore.
Yes.
It makes
I'm
me
Jim.
feel better that you were like this the entire time.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are live from the Everlight Solar Studio. I am Jim Rutledge alongside Molly Brown and Matt Hamilton. Matt Hamilton decked out in his Milwaukee Admirals gear today. Yeah. Molly Brown going with the simple Nike little swoosh there and the ESPN Madison hat. I'm rocking an FAU Owls shirt in honor of the Badgers being mid.
Oh, Ryan's already pissed.
He's upset he said that word, too. I'll tell you that much right now. That is a bugaboo of his. All right, we are presented by Coors Light, the Mountains in Blue. You know what to do.
And that's Crush a Coors Light.
We have a lot to get into today, and I want to thank everyone yesterday. Lots of people got into the show, and they got in on the Carbos Talk text line 844-770-3776, talking about Badger basketball and what their ceiling is. We continued that conversation actually on the Jump Around today, our Badger digital show that's usually on Thursdays at 12:30, but we're going to be on Thursday at 12:30 because the Milwaukee Brewers baseball, the regular season debuts, Yankees versus the Brewers, and the Brewers are in New York, and that is on ESPN Madison. We're on 12 until, I believe, 1:30 up to pregame, and Matt Hamilton's learning about this for the first
I was
time.
gonna say, is this news to you?
I knew about that. No, yeah, I totally knew about that. Came through an email, I think.
Well,
But you don't have your password to.
Yeah, it was right in there with the
it's a whole
remote
thing.
broadcast schedule, locations, everything. You know,
Is that
times.
remote too? Should I know anything about that?
Yeah, we're gonna be at AmFam.
Oh, perfect.
Don't forget.
Pre-gaming.
don't go to AmFam. They're in New York, so you're going to be there by yourself.
The American Family
He's sitting in the
Spark
parking
Building.
lot by himself.
Yeah, so we have a special show on Thursday, so the Jump Around got moved to 12:30 today, and we had Casey O'Brien on from Badger Women's Hockey, so again, congratulations to them. But then we talked a little bit more about Badger basketball, and I think we kind of came around to it. Maybe they're not a mid-major, but they're a mid-market team, like the Brewers. They're constrained and capped because of their inability to spend enough money to compete. And Greg Gard's a good coach. They're going to have to. They're just going to be capped. Kind of what we talked about. Sweet 16, just like the Brewers making the playoffs, maybe win a playoff series. That's kind of their ceiling. They're not winning the World Series.
Yeah.
Badgers aren't winning the national championship in basketball anytime soon. The Brewers aren't winning the World Series anytime soon. And a lot of it has to do with the market constraints.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a little bit. It's more just the Badgers can't have nice things because the big boys are going to take it away from them.
Same with the Brewers. Brewers can't afford nice things.
Well, no, we just signed a huge number to Jackson Churio, didn't we?
That was
Like
the
last
biggest
year?
sweetheart deal ever. Like, they are ripping Jackson Churio off, but he's getting paid early. Mm-hmm. He's willingly to do it, but like they paid him before he ever played.
But like
And he's
Yelich
so
at
young.
the time was a big move. Like, we'll pay for one guy, and before that it was Braun. We'll take one guy, Prince Fielder.
Yeah.
And
But-
how's that working for him?
Oh, no, I'm not
curious.
saying it's
Hey,
good,
it's a hell of a-
but I'm saying
hell of a
it's not
regular
like
season.
it's not like the Badgers because the Badgers can get a bunch of mid guys, but the second they get a good one, he's either going to be a senior with no more eligibility left, or he's going to get poached by some other school.
That's
a
fair.
bigger,
That's fair.
badder
But
school
I
than
just
we are.
it's just a general idea. The
Yeah, but
budget
you're right.
constraints. They're like a
Yeah.
mid-market team.
They are. They
Or a small
certainly
market
are.
baseball. I guess the Brewers are a small market baseball team. They're kind of a small market college basketball team. So to me, it just gives me more just closure and peace with the Badger basketball team. Like, you know what?
It makes it easier to lower your expectations.
Exactly. This time around, I'm not a big fan of it for them. It's just lowered.
So you
Anything
can tell
beyond
Rutledge
Sweet
that.
16 is Cinderella cherry on top of the season.
Sweet 16 might be your cherry on top. It should be.
To me, that's an A-plus season, so I'm not knocking them if they don't make
That's
it.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
If they don't make it, I'm like, well, I didn't get all A pluses, so
you
I
just drop it
can't
down a
expect
level.
them
Like
to.
this year, I'd give the overall team a B. Because actually, I want to get into this.
Honestly, given from where they started, I'm giving them better than that.
Here's the thing: it's a false narrative, and I talked about this on the Jump Run. You can chime in
You'd
on
be
this.
a
844
tough professor.
844-770-3776. All this isn't Madden. I know you know this. Like they didn't get crappy players and then make them better. It's just the media underestimated the players they brought in. They weren't bad players. So, do you know what I mean? Like, Greg Gard did a great job of building the roster, and the flaw in the system was that going forward, the media, when they're picking out – because the media's wrong all the time. They had Kansas #1. So the college basketball projection system is all out of whack now with NIL. And so all that happened was the folks in The Athletic underestimated the players coming in.
I believe John Tonje was ranked as like the 296th best transfer this past offseason.
Right, but we all can agree this isn't Madden. Like
it goes to Jim's point.
That's crazy.
He didn't come in at 50 and Guard turned him up to an 85. No, he came in as the player he was in. Guard and his staff should get credit for understanding these players. I don't care what they're ranked. These players are going to fit what we want to do, and these players are better than we think. And so I love it.
When I run the whole season off the AP poll, I could. That's all I know. You're right. Like I'm not saying that you're
Vibes
wrong.
are good. Vibes were good on this team because there was no expectations and they climbed up.
Again, like
kind of like the Packers
since
a couple
the
years ago.
AP poll is kind of what you live and die by.
The Badgers were in the AP poll for after like the first month of the year, rest of the year. Yeah,
exactly. But like just the fact that it started so low, like that. I had no idea. I had no
I'm not saying,
way of knowing that
I'm a nut.
Tonje was going to be good. All I could do was reply in the AP poll. So
Right.
when they finished the way they did, I was like, this so far exceeded the expectation that I had.
Yes.
Because the AP poll and that sort
Yes.
of like ranking system put that in my
But
in
that's
my
all-
brain.
but that's
put
all-
that little
I'm a
worm
nut.
in my head.
but that's all vibes. It's not a real thing. That's my
Well,
point.
yeah,
It's like
for sure.
Yeah, that's all. Like the vibes were good on this team, but realistically,
The vibes were better than we expected, man. That's
Right.
why they get like an A- in my eyes.
right? But like it was falsely created low expectations by bad media polling.
I don't think it's falsely created. Based off what we knew about the players they were bringing in, they
just
weren't
made
expected. They were expected to be below average.
Yeah.
But
That was
also-
a
But that
fair
doesn't make it a
expectation.
better coaching job for Greg
No,
Gard.
no,
That's my
not
point.
saying
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But I think the expectation
The
that Matt's
vibes,
talking
yes,
about
yes.
coming in, that makes total sense.
But also, are we forgetting that everybody was calling for Greg Gard's head last year at the end of the season? Everybody was wanting him to get fired.
Well, I wasn't. I said if he failed this year, then he could be on the chopping
be
block,
on the
which he
hot
did.
seat, yeah.
He crushed it.
Yeah, so
I was a little bit of a hater last year. I don't know if I
there was a lot of
necessarily
haters.
saying
I
A
thought it was
lot
a-
of- there's haters this year too, but
I thought
mean
it was a
that
make or
was a
break year
huge
this
thing
year
last year.
for
whoever's
Greg
a
Gard.
hater this year is wrong. This
Yes.
might have been Greg Gard's best season with all of his players.
We had the other
I know there's
discussion
a
would have been-
weird argument, like some of the Bo Ryan players that were like, sure, but Greg Gard was on the staff. He helped pick these kids, so they're kind of his guys too. He just had help with Bo picking out players. So I'm gonna say after what I think 2018 is when the last Bo Ryan player was out.
It would have been a little bit longer than that, but it probably would have been around 2019, 2020 phase.
Okay, well,
last time they made
from
the Sweet
then
16 is
on,
really-
this
really-
is
That too,
easily
yeah.
his
Well,
best
no,
season.
not quite, but
Right?
yeah.
That would have been 2017.
That
If
team
you're
was
talking
loaded
about with players who are all exclusively under Greg Gard,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
since that era really shifted, yeah,
Maybe
maybe
and I'm saying this is his best season by far.
the Johnny
Whoa,
Davis
whoa,
season.
No, but not, again, I will dispute. But Johnny Davis I would call it equal, and he got hurt, and
Right.
so that one to me is
The
just
difference
as good.
is we didn't have a NBA caliber player. Now, granted, Johnny Davis isn't quite balling in the NBA.
John Tonje's not an NBA quality player.
No,
Oh,
but
okay,
that's what
yeah.
I'm saying. Is this is the year he did it without a player that was draft worthy.
Now, in looking back on it, Tonje and Johnny Davis might have the same NBA career. Dancing around the G League, just not drafted as high.
Yeah.
Tonje screams second round pick who might get a shot or maybe just go undrafted, and he still could make a roster.
Right.
But
Yeah.
his age works against him in the draft now. But in general, I agree. This is right up there. You could six dealer's choice on that between whichever one you'd like. 844-770-3776. That's how you get into the show. You can react to our Brewers are the Badgers, Badgers are the Brewers, the Spider-Man meme. Take if you want.
Take that for data.
I don't do that for the Packers because the Packers' wounds are self-inflicted.
almost
because they
entirely.
can spend as much money as they want. Like, there's always money in the banana stand. Go look at Cincinnati; they figured out how to pay all these players. They are just, we're going to build methodically through the draft, and that's just how it's going to go. You're going to get nothing like it.
I know this is going to be weird, but has anything happened with Hendrickson? Should I have known?
Hendricks?
Isn't
No.
it Hendrickson?
Hendrickson.
Trey Hendrickson.
Trey
Trey
Hendrickson.
Hendrickson?
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Has anything happened with him?
No.
Okay.
Since they signed T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, the expectation of the reporting was that they would now try to pursue an extension with Trey Hendrickson because they'd have more cap flexibility. Clap
I got you.
flexibility.
That's
Jeez.
not good.
That
You don't want
sounds
that.
They don't want clap flexibility. But since they have that burden eased a little bit by signing those guys to long-term extensions, they are trying to re-sign Trey Hendrickson.
So basically, they're going to have 4 really good guys and then a less than mid team.
The Stars and Scrubs model, yes, for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Great. You're a Bengals fan, right?
I have cousins who, not cousins, my brother, but essentially like
He's more of a Titans fan.
it feels like
He feels more like a cousin than a brother.
they're like the Bengals. The Bengals are
was
like my
bizarre.
fandom cousins. I
Okay.
feel like where like I know them sparingly, and I'll see them like a couple times a year. Like I root for them. But
Do you have
like,
any Bengals
not a
swag?
fan. No swag.
They
no.
have some
See,
cool
you have a
stuff.
Titans hat on your desk.
that you
Your
gave
Titans
me
fan.
at like randomly, like incredibly randomly.
He doesn't wear it.
Never.
He only wears his Coors Light polo.
Yeah,
That's a
I am
good point.
today.
Yeah, shout out to the folks with Coors Light dropping
Coors
off
Light
the-
quarter zip today.
Yeah.
too. I'm on
Yeah.
Jim Rutledge's
Cool.
quarter zip
Yeah.
model.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Eddie
Got
Bauer
my
fleece.
corner.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I want. Speaking of the
Like
Packers,
confused, like, oh my gosh, my first Eddie Bauer.
It is.
it's nice.
Got my khakis on too.
Oh, man.
you are. Yeah, you are ready.
He had a vibe too. Like, when he threw it on, he had his like tucked in Tulane T-shirt into his
Oh
khakis.
my God.
It
There it
was
is.
a vibe. Ryan
The
was
green
looking
wave.
Good. Yeah.
Ryan, you're turning the wrong way. The camera's to your left.
He wanted to
You can
show
see
off
the
the
back.
behind. Yeah. He
Yeah.
show off the
Trying
back.
to show that
okay.
it's tucked
Yeah.
in.
Oh, I
the
thought you were
best
trying
angle.
to show the
Ryan's trying to give
Tulane
everybody his
shirt.
best angle.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
There's
It's
the
his
angle.
I
backside.
think I'm on Omegle now.
Yeah, the midriff right there. That's what everyone was hoping to see today.
Next. Spin it again.
Got the green wave and the owls, right, Jim?
Yep. Same conference? No.
AAC, right?
Are they? I know FAU is
same
AAC.
level of the
I don't know,
Badgers,
I don't know
right?
Tulane. Yeah. Tulane a mid-major, or what are they?
The mid-major green wave.
Football-wise, they do better than Badger football, so that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
So
The
The
biggest Badger football stan right now. I'm sorry.
the NFL draft is coming up, and it's in Green Bay. I don't know if you guys knew that, but it's in Green Bay.
So excited.
And,
I'm nervous.
Matt Hamilton has this take that like the Packers had to keep their first-round pick for vibes, make sure people.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
could you imagine?
I'd love it, but
Green Bay Packers have traded away their pick.
Yeah.
honestly,
Sorry, Packers
Thanks
fans.
for coming. Maybe we'll make a pick tomorrow.
I
Felt like
kinda-
Green Bay to me.
I kind of bet on it, but like,
He's going to trade back and try and get 20 picks in this draft overall, but none of them in the first or second round.
no.
That's what
On
he's going to do.
Saturday.
Yeah, I'm going to get rid of all my early picks so I can have more.
So there is a way that he could give up all his early picks and make Packer fans very excited as we see the promo here for the NFL draft on ESPN. Before the show, we were kicking around like, do the Packers need a cornerback or they need a wide receiver more? And Molly Brown had the great suggestion of
Travis Hunter.
solves all problems.
Yeah.
Solves every need that, well, not every need, but two needs.
the two biggest needs on both sides of the ball. Molly, that was a big brain move by you there, thinking of that.
It is such wishful thinking, but if it happened, I would be so happy. So happy.
Where would you want him to play?
See, that's the thing.
Cornerback or wide receiver?
In the NFL, would it be possible for him to play both? I mean, it's near impossible. But could he do it? People probably thought it was impossible even in college football.
So Deion Sanders did some.
Woodson did it, didn't he?
Charles some. Devin Hester.
Okay, but how many? What do we by some? How many snaps per season?
Well, I would say that I don't know off the top of my
Oh,
head.
and I was just saying in college, I think Woodson did it.
I was
he
saying
didn't do it in
Deion
the
did
pro. He
it.
was
I
like-
think a
No, he was
little
on the-
bit, but also I think a lot of that had to do with like let's use Deion. He was not a good wide receiver. It was not a couldn't do it. It was his best skill set was corner. Devin Hester was brought in as wide receiver or one or the other, and he didn't really
His best skill
was
set was
returner.
returner.
Yeah. But when he did play, it would be kind of filling. So I don't think it's impossible that Travis Hunter. Now, can he play? Let's not do snap. Like,
He's not an every down guy.
let's say he plays 80% of the snaps on defense, and then let's say he plays 40% of snaps on offense. And you can't do it every game. But what about times when the Packers, let's use the Packers as an example here, that Travis Hunter, this year, you got Christian Watson gets hurt in a game, you got no Jair Alexander, and you can't say, all right, Travis, for 15 to 20 plays at wide receiver, you're going to come in, and then you're going to start a corner because we need you at the starting corner, but we're also going to use you for 20 plays on offense. And maybe you have to then the next week figure out how to give him a little bit of a break. It's not going to be Iron Man playing every game, but could he play something where he's playing 70 to 80% on one side of the ball and then 30 to 40% on the other side of the ball for the majority of the season? I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. It's a lot to ask of him. So this leads to our side and limited poll question. Is Travis Hunter the number one need for the Green Bay Packers? 844-770-3776. Carl was talking text line. Less is more. Our side and limited poll question. Is Travis Hunter the number one need for the Green Bay Packers? Working a trade chart here, and I'm just kind of ballparking, I would say he would cost to move up from 23rd. He would cost the 23rd overall pick, next year's first as well. So this year you're more swapping. Next year's first, a second this year, and probably a third in 2025 or 2026.
Oof. That's a lot, but...
Well, really, one is just a pick swap.
If he's a corner... excuse me. Sorry, I'm mollied. If he is the corner that, he was in college, then he's worth every penny, and then whatever he's able to do on offense is valuable. Because I think that's where he wants to play, right? Doesn't he have a preference?
I think the league is deciding his preference.
Well, I know he wants to do both, but I think, I guess the rumors I've been hearing or the scuttlebutt is that he's a better corner than he is a wide receiver.
Yeah, I would say I've heard the same as well. But
So
wide receiver is one where, again, if you get those gadgety type plays, then I think he could be significant on offense.
But that's why he's great, because if he is the good corner that you're expecting to get, like a top 10 draft pick corner, and he can, even if he just comes in for 20 plays a season and he's just like a decoy sometimes, and sometimes he's the guy you go to.
Well, so Tannenbaum has his mock draft up on ESPN.com, and he has Travis Hunter going to the Browns at the second pick.
Mike Tannenbaum, former GM in the NFL.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And he says that Cleveland could give him 15 to 20 plays per game at receiver, specifically in the red zone and on third down.
So that's kind of what I was talking about there. And Deion Sanders...
I mean, that would be such an awesome move because, in my opinion, you need a number one. You need to get a corner, like ASAP.
Daniel Landscaper chimes in, probably one of the dumbest poll question. He's nothing about what we need at all.
Okay.
We don't need a cornerback. We don't need receivers.
Yeah.
No.
Also, I think
Not
you
at
need.
all?
I think he's got a little swag, which the Packers could also use.
For sure.
Yeah. That's at least give us a little explanation there, Dan the Landscaper, because that is
Do you feel confident in our cornerbacks?
no, or the wide receiving group.
Hobbs and Keyshawn Nixon? No thanks.
And Valentine.
CB1, Keyshawn Nixon.
Yeah,
Put some respect on the name.
Keyshawn Nixon.
God, again, the idea of moving two nickels to your corner is such a big risk.
Cringe.
Deion Sanders, apparently in 1996 for the Cowboys, played on offense and defense.
He had 784 receiving yards in his career, Deion did.
So,
but I think his bigger value was as a returner. He was a legitimate electric show as a returner.
he was also a great cornerback.
Yeah, that too, but I'm saying outside of corner. He wasn't a great corner.
Also,
Jay.
Keyshawn
I
Nixon.
don't know.
I just wanted to be sure he was before your era.
Yeah.
The highlights you see.
He was the original version of Keyshawn Nixon is what he was. He wishes he was as good as Keyshawn Nixon,
Yeah.
CB1.
I
We don't
wish.
need CB/wide receiver. We need CB1.
If you're drafting Travis
That's what
Hunter,
Daniel's saying.
you are, I think, drafting on the potential. You have to believe in your coaching staff that they can maximize what he can do. But I don't hate the take because, one, it shows conviction from Goody. He's not going to do any of this. But Travis Hunter would solve a lot of issues for the Packers because he is a receiver. Even if it's early in the year when you don't have Christian Watson and you go, all right, we'll put Travis Hunter in that role a little bit. And then as the year progresses and he gets wear and tear, Watson gets healthy, and then you move Hunter exclusively to defense outside of a few plays.
Right.
But in today's NFL, and if you believe in Matt LaFleur as an offensive coordinator, you'd say, all right, I trust him to be able to come up with some plays for Travis. And I trust him to be able to keep him, fresh And I don't think it's insane. I can't talk about the wear and tear, but cornerback, you have to do a lot of running, but you're not doing as much hitting, so there's not that. To me, I think the wear and tear in the body would be more concerned about the constant getting hit and hitting, which I feel like is less at corner. You still have to make tackles and stuff. So he has to be open with how he's feeling, but I do think he will play both ways. I think over time it'll settle into one, but I think that you're going to see a guy that can make some plays on offense and on defense, and I think he will be an electric player in the NFL pretty quickly, I think, for Travis Hunter. 844-770-3776. Call us talking text line. List is more. Our side limit poll question is Travis Hunter the number one need for the Green Bay Packers? The team at Canopy Wealth Management takes time to truly get to know and understand the dynamics of your values, goals, and plans for your financial future. Their local professional team brings over 90 years of collective experience in wealth management industry to the table for the benefit of their clients. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity isn't just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Hey, this is Matt's Chicago Doppelganger. You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN Madison.
Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. I've been drinking ZOA Energy for a while now, and I absolutely love it. ZOA is my go-to beverage when I need a boost without the crash that comes with other energy drinks. It's packed with natural ingredients like vitamin B and C, electrolytes, and has zero sugar. It fuels my workouts and busy days. I recently had twins, and I have a toddler, so I need all of the energy I can get. Head over to ZOAEnergy.com to find the location nearest to you to pick up some ZOA for yourself. ZOA Energy for balance and drive.
Hey football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets for the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone where you'll be taken care of like a first-round pick. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois. Age 21 years or older. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
Is your computer so slow you can hardly use it? Does it have blue screens, malware, viruses, reboots, hardware crashes? Sound familiar? Computers will have problems, and when they do, you need the computer experts at Madison Computer Works. Every day we help home users and businesses keep their computers and networks running smoothly. For solutions to your computer problems, call the pros at 231-8000, and we'll turn this into this. Madison Computer Works. Computers that work for you.
I'm attorney David Gruber. We've helped injured Wisconsinites for more than 30 years. Trust our hometown team to get you back in the game. Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
We ask and you answer. Tune in to Jim, Matt, and Molly every weekday 4 to 6 and follow at Jim, Matt, Molly on X to vote in daily poll questions presented by Siding Unlimited. Trust Siding Unlimited with your next window and door project.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offer the Retirement Income Strategies and SEC-registered investment advisor.
When you've been seriously injured, you'll need a team with knowledge and experience to get the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
Yes,
Jim at Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We're now joined in here with Chrissy Birdsall. So she is now part of the show, handling some of the digital things here. Matt Hamilton, Molly Brown, Jim Rutledge with you. Primetime Worsheim behind the glass. We are just a big-time show. There's more and more people a part of it.
Love it.
People got to hear our hot takes as fast as possible. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube
we've had
stream
two
as well.
pretty hot takes in a row this week.
Yeah, Molly,
do you want to
hit the talking text line? Because the folks, the green and gold natives, are restless.
Yes, so let's go to Daniel Landscaper. He basically said that having Travis Hunter join the Green Bay Packers wouldn't do anything because the Packers aren't needing those positions at cornerback and wide receiver. He said he followed it up and said, we don't need a two-way player who came from a program where they cared more about their image than being good football players. Guarantee he's just a head case. John from Madison said, Dion said a couple years ago, Travis is a great corner, but has the potential to be an even better all-time wide receiver. I think he's just more experienced at cornerback. And
thanks for the insight on that one. I do appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. And Brandon in Tulsa said, Jair had swag. Look how that panned out. I think the edge rusher from Penn State would be a great pick. Unlike Gary and Van Ness, he actually produced in college at a high level.
I suppose if we're going to go that far up, that's not a terrible...
But also, we all loved Jair's swag up until a year and a half ago, 2 years ago when he stopped playing.
Yeah, Jair's swag
Pro
worked.
Bowler.
Yeah.
Like, Jair did
we loved
exactly
having that
what we
cocky
needed
player
from Jair in a first-round
He's
draft
the
pick.
most accomplished draft pick for Goody.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Absolutely.
Brandon in Tulsa also wanted to know, is that you have a rollie, but you're not wearing a rollie now, are you?
No,
Yes.
no, I'm wearing my Hamilton James Bond PSR.
Okay.
It's a watch. It's a digital watch, but James Bond wore it in like 1980, so that's why it's
gold with
red numbers.
Yes, red numbers.
Yeah.
So,
but it's a digital watch. It looks like it can shoot a laser.
Hamilton, Matt.
Well, the brand too is Hamilton, which is like it's got my name on it. Of course, I gotta get it.
get into the show, 844-770-3776. That's the Carbos Talking text line. List is more. We are asking you, is cornerback / wide receiver Travis Hunter the number one need for the Packers this offseason? 61% of you say no, not worth trading up for. I do like what Brandon Tulsa said about Abdul Carter. If you're
going to go up, right? That's not a bad pick.
But I agree. But Abdul Carter does have, I think, slight injury concern. Nothing to worry too much about, but there's a little bit there. And that's why there's a thought that he might slip a little bit. Now, in the real world, if Abdul Carter slips to, I don't know where, let's say 8 or 9.
He is consensus top 4 right now.
Right, but there are some mocks that have him slipping a little bit because so Travis Hunter's a guy.
But that's what I'm saying. Like he's not going to slip out of the top 10.
No, Chicago wouldn't let Carter get by him for sure.
Right, and they're 10, right?
Right. Yes. Travis Hunter, the two things the Bears are good at is wide receiver and corner, so he might be a guy that they wouldn't take if he slipped a little bit. But I think 100% if Travis Hunter slipped, then the Packers should really be considering it. 844-770-3776. Let's get out to Corey and Madison.
Hello, this is Corey. How's it going?
What's up,
Great.
Corey?
How you doing, Corey?
All right. First of all, I am from Chicago. I've been living in Madison for the last 20-plus years. I am an objective sports fan.
Okay.
So I'm not going to cry, piss, moan about anything. I've watched Travis Hunter's entire career in college, and I want to voice this to you specifically. The wear and tear on his body, he only got injured on offense, and that was targeted by Colorado State. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, on defense, he just runs around. He barely has to do anything on defense. They don't even throw the ball. So as an objective sports fan, if he went to the Packers, that would let you find out who is your number one receiver and who's your number one DB, because we know he could be the number one DB. And if need be, he can go out there on offense. Mm-hmm. That's all I had.
Corey, that's a great take. Again, you're rolling the dice because it's new, but I think worst case scenario, you're solving one problem.
For sure.
Yeah, I would say that maybe he's not the number one corner and maybe he's not the number one wide receiver, but if he's not, I would say he's the number 2 corner and the number 2 wide receiver, and you can get that in one person. And so, worst case scenario, if you got the second best corner in this draft,
even if he's the top 5 in both, it's worth taking.
True. But I just mean like in this specific
draft.
draft.
I agree with you. In this draft, I think he's like top 2 in
easy.
either.
Yeah.
But even if some player, just any player, was the top 5 at both positions, that's a home run.
And people saying he's number 2 at both positions is almost like hating on it, because I think in general, I think he has the potential, and that's also what you're drafting a little bit here, to be elite at both. A lot of the takes online, 844-770-3776, seem more about things that won't happen or the perceived. I think people are conflating Deion Sanders, the personality as a football player, to Deion Sanders' personality as a coach. Watch the stuff on Deion Sanders. Watch him as a coach. He is more of an old school Bill Parcells coach. He holds these players accountable. He makes them show up to things. He makes them show up and work hard. Colorado was a dog crap football program before he showed up. He got them to Fringe Bowl 2 years ago and got them to a bowl this year. That is like Wisconsin would be so lucky to have a guy like Deion show up and make Wisconsin what he turned Colorado into, because he took Colorado basically. What's the worst program in the Big Ten? You think is it Wisconsin? No, I mean what football wise? Like what program do you think is the worst in the Big Ten?
Well, Indiana got good.
Yeah,
Illinois.
But like historically, let's say he just
took
Northwestern,
Purdue or Northwestern.
Yeah, Purdue.
Okay,
Purdue.
He would take Purdue and he turned them into
Drew Brees' Purdue.
Yes, and turn them into a good program, like a winning program. Like so, that's what Deion Sanders did.
Yeah,
Deion Sanders is a great football coach. To kind of crap on the program, I think, is just making a lot of assumptions. Travis Hunter, I think, is going to be very good, and he would bring something the Packers need. Like, honestly, Jair Alexander's gone, and I don't even know how swaggy Hunter is, but if you're playing both sides of the ball,
you got to be pretty swaggy. But also, cornerback, historically, I feel like is one of the most, like, douchey, cocky, whatever you want to call it. Like, that is the position where players are like that.
I think those words are all different meanings. Like,
I think
like
it's all
cocky. Like for a football player, you want cocky, you want arrogant, you want trash talking, you want the persona of Deion Sanders. Like, I wouldn't call Deion Sanders douchey though. Like that's, but as a that's.
Jair Alexander is too. Like
but
I'm
not
saying,
as a football
he is
player.
too.
Like as a football player, like in that locker room and what you're doing, like you don't want to like maybe hang out with the guy, but I don't think Deion or Jair are like that. If you're just chilling with them,
I don't know.
They just bring. They bring a level of confidence. They bring a level of confidence and ability to the program that the Packers, I think, need.
Do you believe?
Are we going to have Jason Wilde? Jason Wilde will bring some confidence to the program as well. But if you're looking to elevate your outdoor living space, the Bruce Company is Dane County's premier retailer of outdoor furniture. Exceptional craftsmanship, all the latest styles and colors, and made with durable materials that hold up to whatever Wisconsin weather brings. Many sets from deep seating to dining can be custom designed in your style. Find a time to swing by their furniture showroom in Middleton and let their trained staff help bring your outdoor dreams to life. The Bruce Company, your outdoor living experts. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Jason Wilde coming up next.
Do you believe?
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Wait, you admitted to dropping a dealer off?
Well, I didn't tell the drug part of it. I just said, like, hey, we just were taking advantage of Milwaukee. Like, we feel like idiots. Totally.
I'm just some dummy from Cedarburg. Help me.
It was in Cedarburg.
From Milwaukee County.
It was in Cedarburg, yeah. So, you want to pay that ticket? You want to deal with that?
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
Matt Hamilton here for Leinekugels, the craft beer that showcases a commitment to tradition and quality, founded in 1867 in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. No matter where I'm at, on the ice, on my boat, or if I'm just watching the big game, I always have a Leine's in my hand. Whether it's the refreshing summer shandy, the smooth honey vice, or my personal favorite, the juicy peach, there's a delicious flavor for every moment. Pick it up wherever you get delicious beer, but remember, you gotta be 21 years or older to enjoy.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Outside In. That's what we call our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. All the cool stuff you want outside in your yard displayed inside. Patios, decks, pavers, and an automated pergola, fire pit, outdoor kitchen, a putting green, and in-ground pool. Even a converting 3-season room that's either outside or inside. We are Outdoor Living Unlimited. Your outdoor living potential awaits you at our Outside In showroom, 2018 South Stoughton Road. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. Well, if you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now is the time to turn to Kohler Service. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no payment financing until 2026. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
The madness has arrived at Metro Ford of Madison this month. Get behind the wheel of a 2024 Ford F-150 with 3.9% APR for 66 months plus $2,000 flex buy cash, $16.86 cost per thousand borrowed. Or drive away in the 2024 Ford Escape with 1.9% APR for 66 months plus $500 flex buy cash, $15.97 cost per thousand. Don't miss out. These offers end March 31st. Head to Metro Ford of Madison or visit MetroFordofMadison.com today.
With the next pick in the big draft, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Dane County selects you. As we count down to the draft in Green Bay, Big Brothers and Big Sisters is also counting on you to help meet the growing demand of mentorship in our community. Become a role model, a motivator, a supporter, a positive influence. Empower the young people in our community to create a brighter future for all. Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Dane County presents the Big Draft in partnership with the NFL Inspire Change. Learn how to get involved at bbbsmadison.org.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Jason, quick
You
question.
are one of one.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
Help me understand a little bit more clearly what you're asking.
Did you ever hear it called Don't Go Jason Waterfalls?
Is this Matt Hamilton?
So I kind of just thought of this question on the spot. So it needs to be workshopped a little. I'm not going to lie.
That's the same as Matt.
Jason Wilde is on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
We are thrilled to have Jason Wilde join us on Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Jason at a track and field event. Is that where you're at, Jason?
I'm at Ripon College for a track and field invitational. Yes, Maddie did the mile at the last one at UW Stevens Point, and now she's pole vaulting at this one.
Wow.
So I'm in nervous dad mode. But you know what calmed me down? Learning that Wooly was once a shot put and discus guy and once weighed 235 pounds.
I knew the latter.
And now weighs 170. Yeah. I'm like, of all the things I did not expect to learn today, it was that if I lose 65 pounds, I can be 170 pounds just like him.
Oh, he was a lineman.
Take that for data.
I was, yes. Right tackle, honorable mention, all FVA conference my senior year. Big deal, guys. Big deal. Packers should have taken a look at me.
Yeah, at least the practice squad look.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Jason, are spring sports the worst sports, though, to attend?
So, first of all, you know me. I love all this stuff, so I'm chatting it up with other parents. And, like, this is, I try to enjoy this because Maddie's a freshman, Sydney's an 8th grader. And before I know what they're going to be, I mean, hopefully they'll both find a sport that they can compete at in college at Division III or who knows. But this is my favorite. Well, I don't want to put the bar too high. I mean, come on. There's nothing wrong with Division III. The WEAC is a great conference.
Wow.
Yeah.
But no, I don't have any complaints. Remember, my career though, I've covered state high school wrestling. I've covered the state high school track meet, and so I have a lot of experience of watching a lot of events simultaneously. The wrestling one is always overwhelming. I haven't covered it in obviously a very long time, but there's like 8 or 12 matches going on at once. It's just information overload, and track and field meets are similar. Like the mile is running past me right now. I hope I'm not distracting them. So it's really something. There's no doubt about it.
Talking with Jason Wilde, and we had a poll question, and shout out to Molly, because we were kicking around beforehand. We're like, hey, the Packers need a cornerback more. They need a wide receiver more. And she said, well, it sounds like they need Travis Hunter. And it's been very polarizing amongst Packer fans on the idea of Travis Hunter. But Christian Menetwich-Waters chimes in. In 1989, the Packers could have drafted two-way stud named Deion Sanders. Instead, they drafted Tony Mandrich. If you wanted Deion on your team, you should want Travis Hunter.
Do you believe?
Now, the cost is incredibly high, but just in general, what are your thoughts on Travis Hunter, his ability to play two ways, and could he fit in Green Bay? Because to me, if he for some reason fell and it was more affordable to go get, then I think he does solve, in theory, two needs for the Packers.
Yeah, again, I don't know how realistic it is to play both ways in the NFL. I mean, and look, let's remember, too, Deion did do some things offensively, but what he really did was play both football and baseball simultaneously. And I don't know, maybe Travis Hunter also would like to get a tryout with the Brewers if this works out. But I just, first of all, the cost would be inexplicably high. Like, Goody is trying to amass draft picks, not give them up. So to go up from 23 to whatever it would take 3 to get him, I don't think that's likely. But it is intriguing, right? I mean, it would be fascinating for him to be on your team and to see how much of both he could do. I mean, I know Keyshawn Nixon has, kind of convinced them to let him run a jet sweep once in a while, but the bottom line is that they do have a long list of needs, and they don't have enough draft picks to address them all. And free agency is basically over.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what they think of Jacob Monk, which Bulaga and I were talking about him this morning. Like, the fact that they didn't put him in, he was active for that playoff game. Not only did they not put him in at left guard when Elton Jenkins went out and Travis Glover played poorly, but then they went to Kadeem Telfort. Both those guys are tackles. They both struggled. And then, don't forget, Josh Myers got hurt late in that game, and they still didn't put Jacob Monk in. So what are we supposed to think of that? And that's one of the questions I'll have for Matt LaFleur, whenever I get to talk to him next. I know, the NFL meetings are next week, and Wes Hodkiewicz and Rob Domofsky are both going to that, so I may put in a request to inquire about him. But they need depth on the offensive line. They need depth on the defensive line, probably guys that can play right away on the defensive line. They need corner help. They need wide receiver help. Like, there's a lot on their to-do list, and they probably need multiple picks to be, exercised at those spots. And they only have 8 picks right now with the compensatory pick they got. So Goody's going to have to do some trading back if he wants to be able to have a double-digit class to try and fill a lot of these needs.
Jason, we're 30 days away from the NFL draft. I'm curious, what is going on in Green Bay? How is the city preparing right now? Are they already shutting things down? Like, what's the vibe going on right there?
So the construction barrels were out on Oneida Street the last time I drove by it, but I have not gone by it like in the last week. So I don't know. I was told that they were starting construction on the stage and the theater starting on the 28th, which would obviously be less than a month out of when it would actually be needed.
Mm-hmm.
But today's the 24th. So
25th.
I saw the 25th. Thank you. I'm just trying to get through today. So I think that they've held meetings where some of the media can go. So we've learned things such as the fact that even though they had 775,000 people in Detroit, they're only expecting 250,000 here in Green Bay, not in Ripon. So it'll be. I'm really curious, and especially after the last 2 days, and remembering too the fact that I know we had a snowstorm on April 14th one year. I think we had another one on like April 18th. I don't know if we've ever gotten it on April 24th, 25th, or 26th, but I am super curious because TV loves snowfall, but I don't think fans wandering around the campus that will surround Lambeau Field for the draft will want to be snowed on. So I'm super curious if the weather's going to cooperate for them. If it does, great. I think it's going to go off without a hitch. If it doesn't, it's going to be a lot of people jamming into that covered theater area trying to stay out of the winter elements in late April.
So, Jason, if you don't love the idea of moving up to get Travis Hunter, what's the biggest position in need for the Packers? And I guess who is more realistic for Goody, a guy who will not trade up but is much more likely to trade down for a pick?
Yeah, well, first of all, to be clear, it doesn't matter what I think. And
put
I'm
your
a big
GM hat
fan.
on.
I'm a big fan of moving up because then it means there's actually fewer picks, which means I can write longer stories about individual guys as opposed to 11 stories. Because remember, Goody, this will be Goody's 8th draft. I think 4 out of the 7, or maybe it's his 9th draft. But 4 out of the 7 have been double-digit number players. So I would be surprised if he doesn't end up in that spot again. I think 8. There's no way he's only picking 8 guys. But look, if he wants to go up, I don't know what the question I would have is what player exactly would be worth in his mind going up for, and how high is he willing to go? To me, that would be so far out of the norm for him. I always use the example that Ron Wolf loved Brian Urlacher, who was not a Pro Football Hall of Fame prospect. There were questions about, is he a safety? Is he a linebacker when he was coming out of New Mexico? And Ron Wolf loved him. And he tried like hell to go up and get him. I think the Bears took him, 10th, Jim, in that draft?
I'll confirm that here in a second. But I do know that the Bears put him at outside linebacker first, and he didn't work there, and then they moved him inside. So to your point, he was not a surefire prospect.
Right, and so Wolf loved him and tried like hell to go up there, and was offering most of his draft that year trying to get there, and he couldn't. And so that was a special case of a player that Wolf thought was that special that he was worth mortgaging all those picks that you use to build your roster because he's that good. I don't know if in this draft there's a player that is that good in Goody's mind, and look, I think there's a chance, like McMillan, Ted McMillan, the wide receiver from Arizona. Goody was the only GM at his workout on campus. But I don't know if he stays till 23. Mock drafts are such garbage, right? There were mock drafts that said, well, they're going to have to go up if they want to get the corner from Iowa, Cooper DeJean. Well, it turns out not only do they not have to go up, they could have traded back, and he was still available to them when they drafted, and they still didn't take him. So how interested were they in him? So I don't know what it's going to take to say end that streak of no wide receivers, but to me, that's one of the more intriguing things about this draft with, Romeo Doubs in the last year of his contract and some legitimate question marks about him based on how he handled adversity last year and then the 2 concussions. Christian Watson being in the last year of his contract and probably not going to play till mid to late November after tearing his ACL. Does this finally end the streak and they go wide receiver in the first round for the first time since 2002? These are the kinds of things that, and if Goody likes McMillan enough, very exciting as the milers go by. Does Goody like him enough to give up a draft pick to move up from 23 to 18 or whatever it might be to have to get him?
This pops up a lot with Goody, and Urlacher was 9th overall, that it does feel like Goody is more married to the process or his plan than he is to a specific player. Like you talked about even the free agents, Josh Jacobs and David McKinney, a lot of it had to do where they fit a specific profile of player he was looking for that became available, so then that's why he went for them. And it feels like his conviction is more than the idea of I see a player, and this player can make a difference for us. And maybe that leads to, I think Jair Alexander is the most accomplished pick in the first round that Goody's ever made. And I just wonder that, is there a flaw, and is there someone else in this GM's, in the scouting room that can be like, hey, Goody, every once in a while it's worth it. If you believe in a guy, just go get the guy.
Yeah, and he, I don't know, I can say this till I'm blue in the face, but he ain't Ron Wolf. He's Ted Thompson. More available to the media than Ted, but if you read my transcripts of him, very rarely does he say more than Ted did. He says more words, but that's why. And look, I honestly, I don't mean this to take a victory lap since I'm at a track meet, but like the fact that he had that line about urgency and competing for championships. When I asked him that question, it was the last question of the press conference. He hadn't said anything revelatory at any point, and I didn't expect that answer because that was a pretty damn big-time answer.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, when I look at him in terms of his philosophy, because earlier in that press conference I had asked him about drafting Jaden Reed and how they traded back twice in the second round and still got Jaden Reed. And so, yeah, it's great that, he picked Jaden Reed, who looks like a pretty good player. Now, I know he didn't play as great last year. But there was this, there's luck involved there. Like, he could have easily gone after you traded back, and then you would have settled for somebody else. He told a good story about Elton Jenkins, and the guys that he had on his board that he really liked were Deebo Samuel, Drew Lock, who both went before Elton at 40. I think he was 46, or I think he was 44 overall. And then DK Metcalf and Mecole Hardman, who went after they took Elton Jenkins. So he basically sat there and said, look, there's this many guys on the board that I like. I don't have to move. I'm not going to go up to get Deebo Samuel, even though that certainly would have helped Aaron Rodgers in 2019. And he got a guy that's their best offensive lineman. So I don't think he is ever going to be the guy who's predisposed to go up to get a guy. And if he someday does that, that will be a big story. It's kind of like when Ted went up to get Clay Matthews. Like, he had never, in his entire time as GM going into that draft, so 05, 06, 07, and 08, he had never traded up before. And he traded up to go get Clay Matthews. I think he had one guy that was kind of a trade up, Jeremy Thompson, I think his name was, linebacker, defensive lineman. My point is that if Goody does that, that will be a big-time headline on channel3000.com because that is not something he does.
Jason, thanks for taking time away from the track meet. We appreciate it.
Well, Maddie's still – at least she put her cleats on now, so I think we're getting close to her competing. But I'm glad you guys were able to accommodate me. I appreciate it. Sorry to leave you hanging, and I don't want to get on the bad side of the 235-pound version of Wooly. So.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
See you later, Jason. Don't miss Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. The weather has changed. It's beautiful outside, so I'm sure you can start enjoying their front patio there. They got the little fire pit going on as well. We've done some shows from that area. But go say hi to Lee and Kevin and go experience the Sizzle, Swizzle, and Swirl happy hour at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. It's right in that window. Best happy hour in town, so go get yourself a Coors Light, get yourself a steak sandwich, seared sashimi, whatever it is you're looking for. It's available at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Could you imagine if I had to pretend to be somebody different than I am? I would have to be like, oh, I love my husband all the time. That would be awful. That would be horrible.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
God.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. Wisconsin's March journey ending Saturday, a 91-89 loss to BYU in the second round. 8 years now since Bucky's last appearance in the tournament's second weekend. While the season-ending loss gut-wrenching, Greg Gard reflecting on his team's run many saw as a long shot.
Watching them grow together from the time we got together in June to now may have been the most fun, enjoyable year in my career. We weren't even supposed to be in this tournament, and this group just bought in and committed to each other, and we're so much fun to be around every single day and so much fun to coach.
Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's going to finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever. That's 4 lines on unlimited welcome for just $25 a line per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. You'll also get the new iPhone 16 Pro, 4 of them for the entire family when you trade in up to 4 phones from our top brands. That's a new phone for everyone, only on the network you can count on. Verizon. Visit a store today. 20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly open Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
Get ready, Madison. The Packers tailgate tour rolls back into town on Wednesday, April 9th. Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. Join us in supporting Dairyland Sports, a Madison-based nonprofit improving access to sports, fitness, and recreation for individuals with physical disabilities in Wisconsin. Learn more and support the cause at dairylandsports.org/Packers tailgate. And stay tuned to ESPN Madison for your chance to win VIP tickets to the Packers tailgate tour. Sponsored by Visit Verona, Paul's Party, and ESPN Madison.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
We should be dancing in the sun. It's hard when everything is numb. I'd like to try and feel okay. So if I call, what would you say?
You guys know that I love my Zoa energy. I now have a 2-year-old. He just turned 2 on Saturday, and I have 4-month-old twins, so I really need all the energy that I can get. Zoa gives me the perfect boost without the crash it comes with other energy drinks, and the best part about it is that it's packed with natural ingredients like caffeine from green coffee and green tea. Plus, the flavors are amazing. Today, I'm drinking the Tropical Punch. So good. Love the colors of the cans, too. It matches all my new swaggy merch that our friends at Coors Light gave us. Love it. But yes, the flavors are amazing, and I feel so good knowing that it's all about clean energy. Pick up some Zoa for yourself. Head over to zoaenergy.com to learn more.
She's Molly Brown. I'm Jim Rutledge, Matt Hamilton with you in the Everlight Solar Studio. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. I did see something here. Primetime Waller Shine Beyond the Glass. Chrissy Birdsall with us. And we do have a Carbless Talk and Text line poll question, a Saturday Unlimited poll question. You can chime in on the Carbless Talk and Text line, 844-770-3776. Less is more. Is Travis Hunter the number one need for the Green Bay Packers? We'll get to the results on that in a second. But I see this from ESPN Milwaukee, which is, I don't understand the driver behind this. So the question posted in the video here, is it time to move on from Kenny Clark? If you're going to do that, time's passed. You already need multiple cornerbacks. You need a wide receiver. You have so many needs. Now is not the time to try to fill another one in the draft. Like, Kenny Clark is still a productive player. If you're going to move on from Kenny Clark, you would have done it before free agency started so you had some money to go replace him.
Yeah.
Like, how many starters are you trying to find in the draft?
Didn't they also just sign him to a massive contract too? Or am I making that up?
I mean,
was that last year, the year before?
That was 2 off seasons
That was
ago.
2 off seasons ago?
So they probably have some wiggle room here, but it's too late. Like,
Yeah, you don't need another
I don't know
hole.
what Kyle said, but it's too late. Who are you replacing him with? You going to draft another guy? What imaginary draft are the Packers are getting like 4 starters in?
Maybe they trade up for Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, one of the top D tackles in the draft, instead of getting Travis Hunter.
You would do that before you get rid of Kenny Clark?
I would say you'd get rid of Kenny Clark and then make that move.
But this defensive line is already sus. And so then, like, taking Kenny Clark off of it,
fair.
like, I would rather add Graham and then move off the following year.
The other part is, like, the center of our defensive line is where I've got the most confidence. It's the outside that bothers me. So, like, why are you moving on from the guy you're confident in?
And also keeping a veteran on that defense, too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, here's the thing. He might be turning 30 in the next couple of years, so Goody wants him out.
Could be. I just don't. I mean, Kenny Clark at this point is just too far gone. Like, you need the depth. You need a player to add to the def.
We can't afford to get rid of any more players.
Right.
We need all the players we have right now.
The Packers could use more interior D-line help. They could use pass rush help. They could use secondary help. They could use wide receiver help.
Just keep going.
They probably could use another tight end because I don't know how much you count on the health of Musgraves.
Yep.
And I guess that's
Running
it.
back?
You could.
Marshawn Lloyd was hurt all
True.
year.
Yeah, so you don't know what you
have
got.
faith
but
in that?
Was it Wilson? Was fine.
I don't
Do you
think
want
they re-signed
I
him.
know. I don't want him to be.
He wasn't
like,
re-signed, but like you could take like 6. But yeah, a 6th, 7th round
Wilson's
pick
not
on
the
running
team
back.
anymore?
I'll have to double check, but I believe he's not.
I thought.
Wait, is he
Jason
Body
last
Beautiful
week
or was
just
that the
talking
other,
about him.
the other one?
Can we ask for one Wilson at a time, please? Eric Wilson
That's what
or
I'm
Emmanuel
asking.
Wilson?
Yes, I got confused because
I
there's 2
think-
Wilsons.
no,
One of them
you're
is
right.
Body Beautiful that Jason calls
That's
him
the one
that.
who
I
I was
don't.
referring to.
Yeah. Which he went back to the Vikings.
So Matt's upset
Gotcha.
that we lost Body Beautiful.
I guess. I thought that was the one Jason was referring to when he was talking about having a Wilson still on the team. Maybe it was the other one.
Yeah, the
And then right now,
Emmanuel.
our poll question:
No.
64% of you say 64% of you say you do not think the Packers' problems would be solved with Travis Hunter.
I mean, all the problems aren't solved, but the idea that you have a little flexibility in where he ends up playing, like, let him play both sides of practice leading into it. And if you think he's got more potential as a wide receiver, he stays a wide receiver. If you think he's got more potential to be a cornerback, put him at corner.
The
There's
Packers
no
need
other-
a cornerback one, and a wide receiver one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If he's either one of them, it's a win.
And there's no other player in the NFL draft or in the NFL that can solve 2 problems other than Travis Hunter.
Well,
There's
you're
none.
right. He
There's
just
none.
retired.
Well, is he solving
There
both?
was one other player that could do that. It was Taysom Hill. Solve your quarterback and your tight end problem.
He stunk.
But
both.
he's done.
He got the Packers a couple times. What, Ryan?
Yeah.
I was going to say, does Travis Hunter really solve both problems? Because they need a CB1 and a wide receiver one, but Travis Hunter can't be number 1 on both sides of the ball.
Okay,
That's
I'm
true.
being dramatic.
But
he wouldn't
he's-
solve fully 2 problems,
but
but
he
he could
solves
at least
one.
assist
So if
in
you had
one
to
of
pick
them.
one for the Packers, which would you pick?
If he solves the
Cornerback.
corner problem and helps you get over the Christian Watson injury, like it is just available occasionally on plays.
Slash could help you in the red zone where
That's
the
the
Packers
best
had a
case
lot of
scenario,
problems.
where he's kind of a weapon X sort of player on offense, and you're
That's
starting
the only way it
cornerback
makes
one.
sense to me personally.
Yeah,
Right.
but that's still 20 plays, and that's significant.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it could be significant. I think just having him play full-time corner, I'd rather just lock down the corner position, personally.
full-time corner and be somebody that could be an absolute
Honestly,
scare tactic in the red zone.
I'd rather him focus on being a returner, and he could be an electric returner. Just focus on that and spare him on the others. Spare him on the offensive
I don't know
side.
if I want my
I
future
can't tell if you're being
star
sarcastic or not.
QB1
No, for sure.
No, I don't want-
CB1 being a returner.
Exactly, I wouldn't. Put
But he's
Keyshawn
fine being
Nixon
a
back
wide
there.
receiver?
I'd rather have him be a wide receiver than be.
Aren't returners notorious for being injured?
Are they?
It's clearly viewed as a less safe proposition because they're changing the rules all the time. to
And
try
they're
to make
making
safer.
it safer for those players.
And that's why that's why Keyshawn Nixon doesn't want to do anymore.
Well, it's
He's
because
like, I'm CB1. I don't want to do this. You're going to tell CB1, Travis Hunter, to go return kicks?
Hey. Just because we have Travis Hunter doesn't mean Keyshawn Nixon's not CB1, Matt.
Yes.
Here's the thing. If he comes out with like a captain's chain or a CB1 chain at the beginning of the season, that is my red flag. If he pulls his Zadarius Smith and gets like the captain's chain, I am going to say red flag on Keyshawn Nixon.
Dog. It's Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Live the high life and get into the nitty-gritty, home of the award-winning Gritty Burger and Madison's official birthday place. Enjoy a full menu including sandwiches, specialty burgers, wraps, salads, and weekend brunch. With the family-friendly environment, it's a great place to watch the big game. Plus, they've got Miller High Life Power Hour specials daily. Located in downtown Madison, Middleton, and Sun Prairie. The nitty-gritty, a tradition since 1968. Also enjoy high life at Bar Coralini, Paradise Lounge, and Jordan's Big Ten Pub.
Hey, it's Kelly Sheffield, Wisconsin Badgers volleyball head coach. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports and Update brought to you by Milwaukee Brewers Baseball on ESPN Madison. Don't miss opening day in the Bronx when the Brewers visit the Yankees to start the 2025 MLB season. Brewers-Yankees Thursday afternoon on ESPN Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. And Madison is home with the 8-time national championship women's hockey team. Casey O'Brien, Patty Kazmarek Award winner, joined the jump round earlier today during their one-on-one conversation from the Badgers' celebration ceremony last night at the LeBron Center. This is what Casey O'Brien had to say to Pablo Iglesias about the final shot and the game-tying shot in regulation from Kirsten Sims.
Yeah, I mean, Coach was saying who wants to take it, and I think probably 20 of us were pointing right at him saying it's got to be you, and she's got the confidence to say that she wants to. It's a pretty big moment, and we all trusted her, and it's cool to see someone have that confidence in themselves.
Listen back to O'Brien's full appearance on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. And then fellow women's breaking news action for Wisconsin sports. The basketball team hiring former Missouri head coach Robert Pinson.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's gonna swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow. Oh.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
Yeah, okay, a military wife,
you,
a deep sea fisherman,
Jim,
and a lead conductor for an orchestra. That was actually pretty good.
That is pretty good.
In honor of Molly Brown, and your nickname was?
Maladina Muffin Pie. Savage. Why are we not making Foo-Foo say Foo-Foo constantly? Daddy, don't call me Jimmy anymore.
Yes, it makes me feel better that you were like this the entire time.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
Hour number 2 of Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue. You know what to do.
And that's Crush a Coors Light.
We are live from the Everlight Solar Studio. I am Jim Rutledge alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown. Christy Birdsall in the Everlight Solar Studio with us as well, alongside Primetime Wollersheim. And we're talking about the Packers here and the idea of, like, you know, we had the side limited poll question. Should they trade up and get Travis Hunter? 60% of you say no. 844-770-3776 is the Cardinals talking text line. List is more. You can chime in on that, but in general here, I'm wondering about the Packers team building. And I know that obviously they won more games last year than they did the year before, but they're still a 7 seed. And I look at the team and I feel like, and Mark Tauscher said this, is something that's smart. Like, hey, the good teams, like you have your holes filled, the starters filled, and then you're drafting to maybe pick someone that could surpass a starter, or you're adding depth to someone who's starting 2 years.
Drafting for depth, right?
Yeah.
That is like thing.
Packers are not drafting for depth at cornerback for sure.
Right now, we're hoping to get 4 starters out of this
They're
draft.
drafting for survival.
It's scary. It's scary.
Which is surprising because I get wanting to be judicious in free agency, but if you want to make this next step, and everyone's trying to make the next step, you kind of have to fill the holes on your team. And they don't have a number 1 wide receiver. And without Christian Watson, they don't have a number 3 wide receiver at best. And then, again, Musgrave, tight end, you could use some offensive line depth. You could use a defensive. You need a pass rusher. You need someone on the defensive line. I don't know a specific one, but you need another body on the defensive line. And you probably need 2 players in the secondary. And you need one of them to start. Realistically, I mean, I still don't love Hobbs or Nixon moving out to the cornerback spot. You're going to trade Jair Alexander. Still, again, all reporting says it's still unlikely he ends up in Green Bay when this is all said and done. So there's some holes.
And
to be
how
filled.
much is he? Even if he does end up in Green Bay, how useful is he going to be? A team that clearly didn't show him that they wanted him. Like the relationship's already severed enough that I don't think it's coming back. Right? Like.
That's
they
fair.
gotta get rid of him.
I agree with you on that.
I just feel like Jair is going to feel like Devontae, right? Like you dealt with everyone else's contract before mine for Devontae's issue. Jair, everyone's assuming you're letting him go, and it's not working out because why would the Packers or why would anybody trade the Packers for Jair at this point? They know they got to let him go before whatever the deadline is, June whatever. Otherwise, he's a cap hit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have to either let him walk or trade him. What team is going to give you any capital at all unless you're absolutely positive that you can't win in, like, a contract battle with some other teams? That's the only reason you would give up any capital to try and get Jair is if you didn't think that you could beat out someone else's contract that might also be interested. But, like, the Packers have no bargaining chip with this. We're going to be down.
Speaking of, ESPN does have them sliding down their after free agency power ranking. And I think it's a pretty fair system they have built out there. But, Molly, I'll let you get to where they have the Packers here. But Philadelphia went up 4 spots to number 2.
It's ridiculous that Philadelphia's 2 underneath the Chiefs. Let's just.
But, well, I get you on that part of it. But the Chiefs did bring back the number 1 free agent in their guard, Trey Smith, I think. And so number 2 here, they added, let's see here, changing the quarterback depth chart was their under the radar move, but then they also added some players on defense, and I think they're going to continue to do well. The Detroit Lions stay number 3 here, so they do not fall because I think they lost some players, but they added some players, so you kind of call that a
corner,
wash.
right? Didn't they get rid of a corner, replace a corner?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
The Bills at 4, Ravens at
OC though, so like we'll see about the Lions
and a DC.
But
then you're gonna pump the Bears all the way up then because they added new coaches. I mean, coaches is something
a little bit, but
you have to kind of take with a grain of salt there. Washington Command, you have to wait.
I still think it'll make an impact on the Detroit Lions.
Right, for sure.
Yes and no. I just have to see what it is. Maybe they get better defensively and worse offensively, and they end up in the same spot.
Could be.
So
not true.
I just have to because Dan Campbell, when you hire 2 great coordinators and then you basically promote it from within or brought people back that are already on your staff, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt of being able to do it until he can't.
Okay.
That's how I look at it. Like his track record is hiring good coordinators.
Yeah.
And so let's see if he does it again. So the Green Bay Packers, Molly, I'll let you read this, but they are ranked 9th, down from 7.
Yes, their under the radar move was re-signing kicker Brandon McManus. I think that's pretty interesting. I mean,
massive move for the Packers, who have been playing the kicker carousel for 4 years. So
just what we were. The line that we always play is that when I said, I believe we were talking to Evan Cohen at the time.
Did you say this though?
Yeah, did you say that?
Oh, she said
well,
it.
Someone said it at some point.
I mean, yes. I said it. Maybe some people just have similar thoughts. Who knows? But I once said on this very program that the Packers have had an easier time replacing Aaron Rodgers than they did Mason Crosby. That's a little bit different now. Now I might have jinxed it. Now that I look back on it.
Yeah. Now it's like, got a kicker, oldest guy on our football team.
But do you guys feel okay with the Packers being at 9? I think it's a little generous.
Well, you have Minnesota right behind them.
Yeah, the Vikings at 10.
I think that's literally just the wild card of J.J. McCarthy.
Right.
J.J.
Because
McCarthy,
they did spend the most in free agency, right? Minnesota did.
They did at one point when we did Minute to Win It.
I'm almost positive they were by far the biggest spender.
Right.
yeah.
So like, it's kind of weird that they're just 9 and they had a better record than the
well,
Packers.
I think it's the J.J. McCarthy part of it. They're doing what Chicago did. They have the money to spend. You're going to build up everything around your young quarterback, and you hope that your young quarterback with your coaching staff. And O'Connell, look, as a head coach and as a play caller, like he's got the pelts on the wall to say, hey, you know what? You can trust me with J.J. McCarthy. And he should be able to. He gets that benefit of the doubt. But so them at 10, like I think the Packers could easily be jumped pretty dang quick, with the Vikings sitting right behind them. Then you go all the way down to 22 for the Chicago Bears, which is I'm surprised they had them the same in their way too early rankings. They would have had the Bears at 22, which would have factored in the addition of Ben Johnson and their coaching staff. But to me, spending all that money in the trenches, if you're going to spend money somewhere, the safest place to spend it is in the trenches. And two of those guys, they got like Thuney would have been the number one free agent guard in this free agency. They traded for him, and so then they got in Jonah Jackson, who played for Ben Johnson, and they brought in some Drew Dahlman at center. So just that they've rebuilt their entire middle of their offensive line, but they're still 22. But at the same time, when you're a team that was as bad as the Bears were last year, you kind of have to wait. Now, do I think the Bears will be better than the Cowboys and the Cardinals and the Falcons and the Dolphins? Yeah, for sure. So then all of a sudden they're climbing closer to the top 15. But that's a lot to be determined. A lot of TBD.
Yeah, I like the for sure. I love the confidence.
But those teams, I don't think are going to be very good.
You don't think Schottenheimer's Cowboys are going to be it?
No.
Especially when they get Genty in the draft at 12?
He won't get past the Bears, I promise you that.
Oh, no, the Bears are going to take defensive linemen.
Okay.
At 10.
Okay.
Pass on Genty.
I don't think he's getting to the Bears.
You think he's top 10 pick?
Yeah.
I believe I saw that he was projected in Tannenbaum's article to go 6 to the Raiders.
Most mock drafts now that I see, he's not getting to 10.
Interesting. Yeah.
Honestly,
who knows?
if I was looking
like
at the
Jason
draft,
said, the mock drafts are so wonky.
They are.
Because all last year I saw Tajin right around the Packers' first-round pick, and he got all the way to second.
Tajin?
Tajin.
Oh, I thought you said he said Tajin, right?
No, I
think you said Tajin.
I said
don't
Tajin.
know.
That's all right.
Roll back the tape. We'll find
You've
out.
got hair in between your headphones and your ears there, so let's just trust that I said it right.
That's
I'm
fair.
notoriously good at pronunciation.
Yes.
Importantness. I've got excellent emphasis on the right syllables.
You love just going to that one, don't you?
I do.
I guess we could throw this out as a signing limited poll question. 844-770-3776. Carlos talking text line. List is more. Second signing limited poll question. Are the Packers a top 10 team as of today in the NFL?
No. They're a top 14 team. I still think they're a playoff team, but I don't think I can put them at top 10. There's too many holes in this team. They did not get better in free agency. We'll see how the draft goes, but let's be real. Like, Goody's only knocked it out of the park once, and he's hit a couple triples. I'll say Jordan Love right now is a triple. Tucker Kraft's a triple. But, like, maybe, and Jaden Reed.
I call both those doubles that
That's
look
what I
like they
was-
could be stretched.
Okay.
Like you've rounded a corner into a
Approaching.
triple. Not maybe you
What
have
about
to turn
Tucker
back
Kraft?
around.
You give me a triple on Tucker Kraft?
Really early, man. I get it. Like, again, a lot of potential
Okay,
there, but
well,
yeah.
either way, I'm saying he's not a stud in the draft. So the idea that you're going to be able to fill 3 glaring holes that I'm seeing on this team where you need a starter, like need a starter, I don't know if Goody's got the chops to pick up 3 starters that are going to be worth it for in one season, 1 year.
Brandon in Tulsa says, assuming Love takes a jump and stops turning the ball over so much, if the Packers wide receivers currently on the rosters don't all make significant jumps this season, how bad could the offense be?
I don't think. See, the weird part is it's going to be a little bit of the offense. If you're not going forward, you're going backwards. If you're not first, you're last. So the problem is if the offense is static and the same type of offense as last year, and the weapons don't progress, one, that's going to be natural regression because you're going to assume that Minnesota, with all the money they spend on defense, will be better defensively. Detroit, Dan Campbell's mentality, and the defense is built around players. They were good defense last year, and they didn't have Hutchinson. So for me, a coordinator and on defense in general is a lot to do with just overall mentality, and I think Dan Campbell brings that, even though he's technically an offensive guy. I think he's more of like because he was a tight end and tight ends coach, things like that. I think he's still a guy that brings that defensive mentality. And then you have Chicago, who spent a lot of money on defense and historically does have a good defense. And they brought in Dennis Allen, who, when he's been a defensive coordinator, has historically had a top 10 defense year in and year out. So the Packers are the same. It would be the division they're in would be make their offense look worse. As I'm looking at this right now, you have Philadelphia and Detroit, and then you have Washington, and again, these power rankings here, and you have the Rams, and then Minnesota right behind Green Bay. So you have a lot of teams that are, in equal to or right behind Green Bay in the NFC. Like the top teams, a lot of them are in the NFC. So Green Bay could be battling again for a 7 seed.
Exactly. And again, the fact that I don't see them have gotten a lot better, I think 7's not a bad target.
Which is just why, again, it just goes back to they could have gotten better. And I just don't understand the team building philosophy around Goody, that it almost just feels like last year. And Evan Cohen kind of touched on this with Unsportsmanlike, that, hey, Goody last year kind of got out of his comfort zone. And even though McKinney and Jacobs hit, it seemed like he didn't like it. They finished the 7th seed, and then this year he's pulling back. Like, I'm not going to do that again. I'll just build my slow and steady way. I'll build the way I built when we made the playoffs 2 years ago with Jordan Love.
It's just always be relevant. It's just how he's doing it.
And I get what you're saying.
You're always taking young players, and you're keeping this team young. Like, at the very worst, you're going to have an athletic team that's fast and eager. Like, that's what young youth provides. You're not getting the experience and some of the tactical advantages that veterans bring. And when you're just filled with that eagerness and athletic talent, your ceiling might be making a Super Bowl, but you're not going to win with that kind of fresh young faces. You need some guys that have been to the playoffs and done it before. And this team, they've played in 3 playoff games if you've been on the team for 2 years. And one of them blow out in one direction, and then you had 2
coulda, shoulda won. Well, not the Eagles one, but
not the Eagles one. Blow out the other way. The Eagles one, I know it wasn't a blowout, but it also felt like it was the Eagles had control the whole time.
For sure.
It never felt like we were really getting within striking range.
So are you okay with that philosophy as a fan?
No, but
you're fine
Jim
with just being
Jim was saying we don't know what his philosophy is. I'm like, I think I do know what his philosophy is, and that is just be good enough to make the playoffs, make us feel like we have a chance at duking it out with the best teams, and if things just go our way, we can win.
So mid in the NFL.
Well, no, being in the playoffs is better than mid.
Still being
the
mid
top 10 team. It's just not being elite.
It just feels
be
like
good enough.
Goody's
it's like
philosophy,
Antanasio theory.
And I get what Matt's saying. I don't think it's this. The end game is this. I don't think the reasoning is the same of you just want to fill the stands, but I think it's this idea. To your point, I do agree with Matt in general. I think he thinks everyone is interchangeable, and I don't think he believes in special. I think he believes every football player on that field is interchangeable, and that this is more of a math equation than it is a personality equation.
So
and
Billy Bean mentality, right?
What's that?
Billy Bean?
Yes. But Billy Bean had to do it because he didn't have any money.
Well, right.
Yes, but you're right.
It doesn't mean that's not what Goody's trying to do.
I agree. Yeah. And it is one of those things where the proof's in the pudding that he doesn't, again, over 30, he values the math and his system or his way of doing things more than he values any individual player.
Take that for data.
And we saw that with Aaron Rodgers. We can talk about Aaron Rodgers on the other side, a little regret for Aaron Rodgers maybe leaving the Packers. But for over 35 years, J&K has been Madison's trusted name in security, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner. They're your one-stop shop for all things security, from cutting-edge intercom systems for your office to simply replacing that old lock on your front door. They've got you covered with a network of top-tier suppliers. They create customized solutions tailored just for you. At J&K, customer service is not just their top priority. It is their only priority, and your peace of mind is their mission. Visit them today at jksecurity.com and experience the J&K difference. Your home, your business, their priority. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill, when your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill, because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway, and you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Who's cutting down the nets this year? Get in on all the tournament action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever. That's 4 lines on unlimited welcome for just $25 a line per month with autopay plus taxes and fees. You'll also get the new iPhone 16 Pro, 4 of them for the entire family when you trade in up to 4 phones from our top brands. That's a new phone for everyone, only on the network you can count on. Verizon. Visit a store today. 20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. See Verizon.com for details.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Jim Rutledge here, and I want to tell you about the Bruce Company, Dane County's premier retailer of outdoor furniture. They'll help you elevate your outdoor living space like they have for me. Exceptional craftsmanship, all the latest styles, colors, and durable materials that hold up to whatever Wisconsin weather brings. From deep seating to dining, pick your set and the Bruce Company will customize it to fit your style. Visit their furniture showroom in Middleton and let their trained staff help you bring your outdoor dreams to life. The Bruce Company, your outdoor living experts.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
Do you know or work with kids who have special healthcare needs? Help them live their best lives. Contact Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network. Our specialists will connect you with services in your area. Wisconsin Wayfinder is free and confidential. Call 877-947-2929 or visit dhs.wi.gov/WISCWAY. Connect today. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
There is potential that Aaron Rodgers signs with another team other than the Steelers.
Name them.
The Giants are potentially still a landing spot. The Vikings, I would say less so, but still a potential landing spot. It's not necessarily a mystery. It's the fact that I think that what people are doing is they're just saying, well, why would he sign with the Giants? They are rationalizing things in their own heads as opposed to just doing what people are telling me that are in these decision-making situations is wait for Aaron because he's the one who has yet to make up his mind.
Jeff Darlington, who I once shared a press room with him for about a year or two down in Miami. That was a loaded press room. It was like Jeff Darlington, George Sedano, Evan Cohen, Ben Volen, who I covered like the New England Patriots for ESPN, Tim Graham, who covered the Buffalo Bills for ESPN for a while after that. It was a bunch of really talented people, and then I was there. Matt Hamilton, Jim Rutledge, Molly Brown with you in the Everlight Solar Studio. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. Darlington talking about places where Aaron Rodgers will land. And before we get into something from Albert Breer, some quotes attributed or thoughts attributed to Aaron Rodgers, which I think are complimentary, so maybe Aaron won't get all up in arms over him, but Aaron doesn't like anything, so probably not. I will say this, and I don't think he's going to go – I don't know if the Giants want him anymore if they sign Jameis Winston, because, like, what are you going to do?
Well, they paid Jameis backup money.
Yeah, but
like $1 million for 2 years or something.
Okay, we were talking mock drafts. On the one that I was looking at earlier, it was Shedeur Sanders at 2 to the Giants.
That's what I was getting to more. Right. Like, you're bringing in Jameis to be the stopgap to get to Shedeur. And so you don't –
Or, like, the veteran who can come in and play if Shedeur's not ready to start.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Okay,
yeah.
okay,
so,
that
like,
makes sense, though.
That combo together – Cleveland.
You don't think a Jameis Aaron Rodgers combo would just be amazing?
I think
it's a complicated film.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
That
but
would be a wild quarterback room.
When you're trying to build the team out of it, I just don't think you put those two together because you already have the stopgap guy in Jameis. So it feels like Steelers are retirement at this point, I guess, for Aaron Rodgers.
But Steelers, do you think he's going to get along with his receivers there? I just don't see it.
Well, that's a different question. My thing
Here's the thing. The receivers will be happy if they get fed. If they get the ball, they'll be fine.
Yeah, but if they drop a ball, Rodgers is going to throw it to him, and then he's going to get pissed.
So how much?
Sorry,
I'm more worried about Rodgers just throwing it away or doing what Rodgers does. Like, I really thought it would have been an interception, so I threw it away. And
well, he didn't do that very much last year. He threw a lot of picks last year.
For him,
yes.
Was it like 10, 12?
Aaron Rodgers' stats last year are a bit of empty calories because you look at some of the more advanced look at it, and some of that is just not very important when he's putting up those numbers, and because of garbage time in there, and he's still a good player. But
11 interceptions last year.
11.
He had some comments that Albert Breer has attributed to him, basically saying that he likes the idea of the Steelers because it gives off Packers vibes, and that maybe he realized things were better with Green Bay than he thought. Now, you go from Green Bay to the Jets, that's a mess. I mean, good God.
What a switch.
Yeah. I mean, if you had gone from, like, Green Bay to even Pittsburgh, you'd probably be like, okay, things are pretty similar. But I think
well, for what it's worth, he tried to make it similar by bringing in all the trash from Green Bay.
Right.
I couldn't think of a better word to say than trash. Sorry.
But, like, that's do you think Aaron Rodgers, if in theory he learned that, hey, maybe the way that Green Bay is structured, you still might not like the stuff that Goody does and all those sorts of things, but just in general, a more functioning organization where there's not just hemorrhaging leaks and your owner is drafting guys off of Madden rankings and all that kind of stuff, that, like, Pittsburgh will do things differently than Green Bay. But if he appreciates the tight ship that Pittsburgh runs, they're one of the premier organizations. You can make a case that they are even a higher ranked organization than the Green Bay Packers, the Steelers over time. I mean, they've had 3 coaches in the last 35 years. They have plenty of Super Bowl wins, and they are a team that is always in the mix too. And they haven't had a quarterback.
Always contenders.
But is Aaron, if he learned from Green Bay that, hey, maybe things weren't as tough as or maybe as bad as I thought they were, did he also learn that maybe I should just shut the bleep up and, you know, at least not demonstratively coach up my wide receivers and other players? And if I need to coach them up, I could talk to them like a man and like a person. And if you go to DK Metcalf,
I'm a man,
or Pickens, and I think if you have that conversation out of public so you don't bury them post-game and you don't freak out and throw a fit on the sideline, then maybe they respond better to Aaron Rodgers. And you think maybe Aaron's learned that. I don't know if he has the introspection to learn that sort of stuff. He doesn't seem like someone who truly gives a crap about learning to be a better football teammate, but maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, man. I don't think anybody there's players, but I don't think Pickens in particular would be afraid to get back in Rodgers' face.
Right,
you know what
but
I mean?
that's
I
not,
felt
I don't
like
think
he
that's,
had that like aura around him. George Pickens will grab him by the face mask if he throws his hands up in the air because he dropped the ball.
Dog.
Yeah.
Like,
so maybe he'll learn.
Maybe
because
that's it. Maybe Rodgers was that spoiled little kid who never really got his butt kicked. Where, you know, everybody knows that person's like, man, you could have really used a good butt kicking as a kid.
I'm looking at him.
Trust me, Molly. Maybe I just didn't learn my lesson, but I got my butt kicked plenty.
I just don't know how long Rodgers could keep up the facade of, like, being the nice guy that's trying to train up his wide receivers. Because deep down, I just think he I think he thinks that he's better than everybody else and that everybody should be at his beck and call. Like, I don't think you can keep up a facade that long.
Do you think he even tries to keep up a
no,
facade?
but Jim is saying, could he turn the page and essentially become a new guy with a new franchise? And I don't think he could, because he's 40-something years old. You are who you are at some point in life. You really are. You can change here and there, but you are
Most
who you
people
are.
chill out with age. Like, that's the weird part with Aaron.
Yeah.
Like, I'm less, like, this is the chill me. You know
Oh
what
my
I mean?
God.
So, like, yeah. Pressure.
Man, I am thrilled I met you at 40 and not 30.
Preposterous that I've even
But, like,
heard
I
that.
think you kind of mellow with age because you understand that, time heals all wounds. Nothing is as important as you think it is in the moment. Like, you have these life experiences, especially Mr. Ayahuasca and Aaron Rodgers, where it's like you think he would learn all of this. So
I think he'd have learned he's just like a grain of sand, man.
Just dust in the wind.
But he tries to pretend.
Yeah.
But he's not actually.
But you would think that he would learn over time of and also he's been humbled. I mean, maybe not actually, but the league is saying you're not it anymore.
You can't take your pick of 15 NFL football teams that could use your services. You've got
one functional team,
maybe two if you're willing to go to the Browns,
and you're still the side chick for the Minnesota Vikings, essentially.
Yeah.
Well, they're Ryan Tannehill now.
You're also second.
They're looking at him.
You're also second chance for the Giants, because the Giants want to do it in the draft by showing their cards by getting Jameis Winston.
No, by getting Shedeur Sanders.
No, they got
okay,
Jameis Winston, showed their cards that they're going for someone in the draft.
Gotcha. Yep.
Man, Aaron Rodgers, you son of a gun. You just really dropped the ball. He was just 2018, 2017, like you were living the dream, man.
Do you feel better about Aaron now that he misses? I don't mean it in a mean way. That at least he misses Green Bay. Like, at least he recognizes.
That's true. I just don't know if that's actually
It's not your fault.
I don't think he actually misses it.
I would say miss. He appreciates what it. That's kind of more described it.
I mean, I think he was always going to come back to that. Like, eventually he'd realize how much he appreciated what happened and went down in Green Bay.
Like, honestly, but maybe the Jets were the best thing for him, because if he had gone again to a more functional franchise and won, then he might have been more defiant about Green Bay.
If he doesn't tear his Achilles, do you think he wins it with the Jets?
No.
That season, do you think they make the playoffs?
No.
Really?
No.
They were a good team without him.
They
almost made the playoffs.
They were.
He didn't even have an offensive line, and we saw that in the first 5 snaps of that game.
True, but I mean, do you think he's 2 wins better than Zach Wilson and whoever else they were trotting out that season?
No, his Achilles was going to blow at some point.
You think it was destined?
Yeah.
You think he was destined like Achilles himself?
Exactly like Achilles.
That's what Rodgers told himself.
Ayahuasca. He was dipped in the river Styx.
Carbon World Health. There's no river Styx that you get dipped in over at Carbon World Health, but you can try the cryotherapy, red light therapy. Obviously, they have the gym on the west side. They have spa treatments on the east side in Sun Prairie. Whatever it is you're looking for, whether it's spa, whether it's recovery, whether it's GLP-1s like semaglutide or hormone optimization, just general workouts, Carbon World Health will help you get to your best self. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening live from St. John's, Newfoundland. The Newfies love Jim, Matt, and Molly. 100.5 ESPN Madison.
Champions aren't made overnight, and neither was Pizza Hut's Stuffed Crust Pizza. They're the OG, the GOAT, the one and only. Others may try to copy, but they're not like Pizza Hut. For a limited time, score big with a large 3-topping stuffed crust pizza for just $11.99. It's perfect for watching big games on the go. Hurry, you won't want to miss this championship deal before it's gone. Head to one of their locations or order online at pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Brian here from Canopy Wealth Management. At Canopy, we create strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. We've invested heavily in client-friendly software so your assets and plan progress are available to view in one place at any time. Whether you prefer only the high-level information or enjoy the intricate details of the planning process, we've got you covered. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Who's cutting down the nets this year? Get in on all the tournament action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Don't miss Good American Family.
We have a little girl here for adoption. She has dwarfism.
Starring Ellen Pompeo and Mark Duplass.
Something is off. She's just a little girl. You think she's faking? She has adult teeth. There are signs of puberty.
Inspired by the shocking stories that tore a family apart.
I don't know what's going on. How old are you? You should get a lawyer. You have no idea how those people hurt this girl.
The Hulu original series, Good American Family. New episodes Wednesdays, streaming on Hulu.
Hey, ready to sweeten your game? It's time for Quick Trip's Nature's Touch Ice Cream. Ooh, making moves like the starting lineup of a championship team. Whether you're gearing up for the big game, celebrating a win, or just looking for a sweet break in the action. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and more. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad pick. So why wait? Flavor doesn't scoop itself. Get your hands on your winning Nature's Touch Ice Cream flavor today. Only at Quick Trip.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Jim, Matt, Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Molly Brown and Matt Hamilton. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. The computer is turned on. There it is. All right, I want to make sure you can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream. You can get into the show 844-770-3776 on the Carbos Talking text line. Less is more. We have a Siding Unlimited poll question posted here. We actually have two of them. Are the Packers a top 10 team in the NFL at this point in the season? 56% of you say no. And we also ask, is Travis Hunter, cornerback wide receiver Travis Hunter, the number one need for the Packers in the draft? 63% of you say no. All right, let's get to throwing stones.
1, 2, 3.
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
That was cooler than being cool. Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out. I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
Yeah, guys, we started talking the show about the disappointments of Badgers men's basketball, but there's some news for Badgers women's basketball as well. They just hired their new head coach after letting Marissa Mosley go earlier this month. They hired Robin Pinchton from Missouri. Unfortunately, I don't know much about her, as I'm not well versed in women's college, not nearly well enough versed in women's college basketball, other than RIP to Juju Watkins' ACL last night. That stunk.
Tough.
Yes.
But we do happen to have someone who actually has some expertise on women's college basketball in the studio today. Chrissy Birdsall, the digital producer for Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I thought it was going to be Matt Hamilton.
Yeah, Matt Hamilton.
Yeah, Matt, give us the rundown.
Give us a 411.
Well, she's got a career record of about 600, so not a bad win-loss ratio. Spent the last 15 years at Missouri, and a little closer to 500 at Missouri, but the earlier stops at Illinois State and Iowa State as an assistant really helped bolster that win-loss thing.
You can stop now.
All right, Chrissy, go ahead.
Yeah, Chrissy, fill in the blanks for us.
You know what? I don't even know how I could top that.
I mean, I was just reading Wikipedia. I know you got it.
Good job.
Let's call it Mike Lucas. No, all right, go ahead.
All right. What you need to know about her, she's had some really good recruits over the years. She had Sophie Cunningham, who plays in the WNBA, I believe, for the Connecticut Sun now. There's been a lot of movement in the W. That's when they had their best year. They went to the NCAA tournament 4 times, and the last 6 years it's been a little rough. I believe she's had a losing record every single year, bottom of the SEC, and then she resigned this year, effective immediately at the end of the year. It's one of those situations that I've been having a lot of conversations with people in athletics. It was hard for them to find a mid-major coach that's going to take a step up to the program just because of how bad they've been historically. So I've always thought it would be one of these Power 4 coaches that got fired, resigned, taking a step down job and trying to rebuild that way. So I like the hire, but everybody else does not like the hire. I'm the oddball on this one. I think she's going to be good, and I think it's a little different than what they've been doing.
I mean, where are the Badgers now? Like, bottom of the Big Ten as far as women's basketball?
Yeah, at least bottom
Like,
third.
so there's not really much. You can't sink a whole lot further.
Well, that's not really, though, how you want to look at that.
Well, no, but at the same time, like,
Especially when
you
you're
make
first
a hire, you make
mid-major.
a change. There's a good chance. Like, the bar's low.
True.
So
you can
it's
only
like,
go up? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's not a bad spot to start. It's a lot better than being like Alabama's head coach last year to start the season right after Nick Saban. Like, you'd rather start after someone failed and be like, hey, if we fail again, I can blame the last guy. For real.
Last gal in this situation.
Or gal in this situation, exactly.
Yeah, thanks for the info on that, Chrissy. I do have concerns that mid-majors don't even want to come here for Badger women's basketball. It does ding my Wisconsin as a women's athletic school and not a football and basketball school. But, yeah, I get your point, but this screams maybe a coach who is not in tune with NIL and not in tune with the changing landscape of college basketball. And I'm not saying it's all true, but an aging coach who failed out of the SEC, you're really hoping for like a 1 in a million, like this will just get better because we are terrible. So like, I guess we can be not as terrible. But I think there's just a world where the right coach, I think, could really, and a little bit of money can lift Badger women's basketball up.
So,
Let's
Chrissy,
hope
what's your...
This isn't that person, though.
What's your excitement? Like, what's your reasoning why you think she's going to improve the program?
I think a lot of the past coaches they've taken have been coaches that are coming from a mid-major, taking a step up. Coach Mo came from Boston University, had a really good career there. She takes a step up, and they weren't bad. I think a lot of people think they're so much worse. You guys got to realize how good the Big Ten women's basketball is. There's like 12 teams in the NCAA tournament right now. They cannot compete at that level right now. They need the money. They need the funding. That's the bigger thing. But if you have a coach that has been proven to be a recruiter and a winner, I like that we can maybe get some of these recruits. And they need a lot of recruits because right now there are a lot of players that just transferred out of the program. So they're going to need some transfers.
We have some breaking news revolving around the quarterback for the New York Football Giants.
Oh, no.
Adam Schefter reports the Giants and Super Bowl winning quarterback Russell Wilson have reached an agreement today on a 1-year deal worth up to $21 million.
Wow.
Well, there goes our drafting a quarterback idea.
That high, probably. I think they could still maybe
now
take
they
someone in the
kinda have
second
to
round.
Get a player to help.
If you're bringing in Russell Wilson, you're trying to win, and so it'd
Getting
be
an
ridiculous to
offensive
draft.
lineman.
It would be ridiculous to draft someone that is not helping you win immediately.
And you just got Jameis.
They're going to be a dumpster fire again next year.
This is a coach and a GM who are playing or coaching and GMing for their job.
Yeah, I suppose you take a rookie and they're not, and they do what a typical rookie does, not what we've seen of late of a lot of rookies. They're done.
And these rookies,
They're
maybe
cooked.
Cam Ward has that sort of, but like I think a lot of people assume these guys could use a little bit of
polishing.
Question to
Yeah.
pivot off of Russell Wilson now.
Yeah.
Do we think that Aaron Rodgers signs with Pittsburgh in the next 24 hours?
Actually, I feel like it's less likely now because where else
Oh.
is he going?
Oh,
So
other
you know
than
what I mean?
Pittsburgh?
Like, there's no option.
But I feel like
What, they're just
pressure
going
on
to
him
hold out
anymore.
for it, or like?
Well, because Kirk Cousins may be the next best option. He doesn't want to go anywhere until after the draft because he doesn't want to get Penixed again.
So I guess the idea is that do we think that the Giants only make this move because they know Rodgers is off the board, though?
It's a good question.
Oh, you're saying the Giants made this move because they think Rodgers is
Yeah,
off the
because
Like
they
they
think
already
Rodgers
know?
is Pittsburgh is done.
Ooh. Wow.
Or do they actually
nice
just think
twist
that
on it.
Russell Wilson is better than Rodgers because
It is
he
one
could
year.
be.
It is 1 year up to $21 million, though, according to Ian Rappaport. It's
Molly,
1 year.
What is
you've got a
Rodgers-
football team. You've got the choice of Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson.
I thought Russell Wilson was fun to watch last year. I'm not gonna lie.
So
He was tough at first, but
straight
He
face.
got him to the playoffs.
You're looking me
Rodgers
dead in the
didn't.
eye and saying that you're well. Come on, the teams were drastically different. Same team, Pittsburgh Steelers. You don't think Rodgers gets that team to the playoff?
I don't know. I really don't know. I
So
mean,
which
he had a better
quarterback you
defense.
taking? You're the GM of the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. You got an option for Russell or Aaron Rodgers. Let's say exact same dollar amount.
Okay. I'd probably go Russ.
You
If
would
you're
go
the
Russ.
Steelers, you're not going to go Russ because it's a redundancy. If you're the Giants, you go
I'd go
Russ.
Russ.
Statistically, Russ probably had a better season because he obviously didn't play all the way through. So he had a higher completion percentage, higher QB rating, less yards and TDs, but he missed like the first 4 or 5 games.
Right.
If you average the games, just eyeballing it, if you average it out, he probably comes pretty dang close to what Rodgers put up.
And he's younger.
And less of a pain in
Healthier.
less of a pain in the ass.
Less
Yeah,
of a
but
pain
he's
in the
a
ass.
different kind of pain in the ass.
He's a
He's
positive
not an
pain in the
aggra-
ass.
He is a what's the word here? Passive aggressive pain in the ass, and Aaron Rodgers is an aggressive pain in the ass.
He's aggressively annoying.
Who?
Whereas
Russ.
Whereas Rodgers is aggressively impossible to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd rather deal with annoying.
Pick your poison, but at the end of the day, they're both poison.
Yes, it's just a matter of what kind of poison you want to deal with.
How do you want to go down?
Yeah. And
Russ, Molly, I am so disappointed.
He's
in
been to
you.
more Super Bowls.
go be a winner like
Touche.
Russell
Take that
Wilson,
for
not
that.
Aaron Rodgers. Go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Millions of dollars are won every single weekend at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Go be a winner and go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
But
I've never seen the movie either.
I've
I
only
just
seen
know
this.
it's-
Really?
Yeah, I have no interest in the movie.
Oh my gosh, the movie is terrible. Terribly awesome. Did you
The
just
movie?
touch my butt, Dewey? I know your tricks, Dewey. What? I quote that all the time.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Ready to live the high life at home? Miller High Life is giving one lucky winner the ultimate backyard dive bar experience. It's a cabana complete with classic bar vibes, neon lights, and of course, plenty of high life. To enter, just order a Miller High Life at any participating dive bars in the Madison area and register with the link to the Miller High Life Backyard Dive Bar giveaway. Get a ticket to Dive Bar Glory at your local watering hole, like Curly's Pub and Grill, Riley Tavern, The Bristled Boar, and Main Street Lanes.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Make no mistake about it. This is a desperation move. When you pay Daniel Jones $14 million on a one-year proposition, you are desperate. And to be in this position 3 years after you use a top 5 pick on a quarterback is an indictment on the job that you've done. Chris Ballard been there 8 years, only been to the playoffs twice. What are we doing?
Unsportsmanlike. Weekdays from 5 to 9 on 100.5 ESPN.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck and Honeys. Congratulations to the perennial Best of Madison Award winner by the folks at Madison Magazine. Meet me at Buck and Honeys to celebrate Wisconsin hospitality. Whether you're enjoying the view on the Yahara River in Monona, exploring Wanakee, visiting the OG in Sun Prairie, or checking out the new location in Mount Horeb, you can enjoy the Buck and Honeys experience in a neighborhood near you. Serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week with brunch every Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you at Buck and Honeys.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
The madness has arrived at Metro Ford of Madison this month. Get behind the wheel of a 2024 Ford F-150 with 3.9% APR for 66 months plus $2,000 flex buy cash, $16.86 cost per thousand borrowed. Or drive away in the 2024 Ford Escape with 1.9% APR for 66 months plus $500 flex buy cash, $15.97 cost per thousand. Don't miss out. These offers end March 31st. Head to Metro Ford of Madison or visit metrofordofmadison.com today.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
I be spiked out, I could trip a referee. Tell by my attitude that I most definitely from.
Evan Cohen joining us. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. I'm Jim Rutledge alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown. This is playing because future Hall of Fame quarterback, maybe Super Bowl winning quarterback, Russell Wilson signs with the New York Giants. He's got a Super Bowl win.
He's been in the hunt for MVPs. Guys. He's been in the hunt for MVP.
I think he's notoriously never received an MVP.
No, he
right?
definitely hasn't. But
was that him or Drew Brees?
He's never had a vote for it at the end. But he's been in a hunt a couple seasons and kind of like let it fall apart.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm trying to remember what year on the Seahawks.
Super Bowl champion, second team All Pro once, 10-time Pro Bowler, led the league in passing one year, led the league in passer rating a different year.
What year was that?
Which one?
Passer rating.
2015.
And what was the
touchdowns of 2017?
I think it was 17 was the last resurgence where early in the season they're like Russell Wilson might get a vote for MVP.
46,000 career passing yards, 350 touchdowns, 65% completion percentage. I'll tell you what, if he can find a way, counting stats wise, to get 50 more TDs and 4,000 more yards, he's probably definitely in. Because then it's 50,000 yards and 400 TDs.
That phrase, probably, definitely.
Yeah. I'll say he's definitely in if he gets that. The 400 TDs and the 50,000 yards passing to add on to the 5,000 yards rushing. I think that'll get him there. So, I mean, if he can string together
2
more respectable seasons, yeah, he could do it. I mean, if you want to be optimistic as a Giants fan, Brian Daboll has obviously had success with quarterbacks, and maybe you can get a little bit out of Russell. You have Malik Neighbors, and I don't know what they're going to do at 3 now, but it allows them some flexibility. They could take Abdul Carter. Cam Ward could go 1, Shedeur could go 2, and then Carter could go 3. I think they're going to draft best player available, which does set them up in the long run, and then maybe you can draft a different QB in the second round that you feel like could be a QB of the future.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't even do it in the second round.
They're already dealing with the short quarterback in Russell. They'll be ready to move on to a young short quarterback from Oregon.
Who?
The Oregon kid. I forget what his
Dylan
name is.
Gabriel. He's not a. I don't think he's even viewed as like a.
No, you have to look at the second
you're probably
round.
more into what kind of prospect is. I feel like he's like the 8th rated quarterback in this draft.
Probably day 3. Yeah. Maybe early day 3 could be late day 2, but probably day 3.
So that could be. So are you saying that he would fall far enough that that's something that they could pick up?
No, I'm saying that'd be a guy that you could throw into the late round picks if you feel like you got to get a young quarterback at some point.
Yeah, like a late round pick. Because right now, Milroe, I think he'll end up in the first round. It's probably what will happen there. Obviously, Shedeur and Cam Ward would go first round. Will Howard, I hate that. I don't want any part of that. Riley Lander, worse. Jackson Dart, he's climbing up boards. Then you have Dylan Gabriel. This is from January, though. I'd take Quinn Ewers over Dylan Gabriel. But, yeah. This is an old one because Tyler Shaw, is that his name? How do you say his name?
Tyler Shuck.
Shuck.
It doesn't look like that at all, but that's how you say it.
Shough. Of course. Shuck.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So, anyways, he's climbing up the board as well. So, yeah, Gabriel's probably a day 3 pick. I think it's probably right. But the Giants could get a guy.
Yeah, they have a lot of holes like the Packers.
What's that?
The Giants.
I think the other thing here that it does indicate is that the Cleveland Browns are probably taking Shedeur Sanders. And I think the Giants have intel on that. And instead of trading up to go get him.
That's one less spot that the Packers got to go up to get Travis Hunter.
Let's go. Listen back, Wisconsin on Demand, Apple, Spotify, and those great places. This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
See ya.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard.